Anger is a powerful emotion that can overwhelm even the strongest hearts, leading to regret and broken relationships. But Islam offers timeless guidance to control anger and master emotions with wisdom and faith. Through the teachings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the examples of the Prophets alaihi salam, and the companions Razi Allah Ta'ala anhu, we learn practical steps to remain calm, patient, and composed. Let's explore these powerful Islamic reminders that can transform our hearts and lives. Anger is a powerful emotion that, when left unchecked, damages the soul before it harms others. It clouds judgment, pushes a person toward harsh words and unjust actions, and opens the door to sins that may be regretted later. In moments of rage, wisdom is replaced by impulse, and relationships suffer as trust and compassion are weakened. Spiritually, uncontrolled anger hardens the heart and distances a believer from the remembrance of Allah. It reduces rewards, invites accountability, and allows shaitan influence over behavior, turning temporary emotions into lasting consequences for one's faith, character, and standing in the hereafter alone today. Allah honors those who restrain their anger because this restraint reflects deep faith and inner discipline. Choosing forgiveness over retaliation purifies intentions and elevates a believer's character. It transforms moments of conflict into opportunities for spiritual growth and moral excellence, showing trust in divine justice rather than personal revenge. Forgiving others invites Allah's mercy and opens doors to immense reward that only He can grant. It strengthens humility, softens the heart, and brings emotional peace that anger can never provide. Through forgiveness, a believer rises in rank, earns divine closeness, and reflects the noble values Islam seeks to establish in human conduct. Islam redefines strength as mastery over the self, rather than dominance over others. Physical power may impress people, but inner control shapes destiny. A person who governs their reactions demonstrates clarity of mind and balance of character, especially during moments of provocation. This form of strength requires awareness, restraint, and courage, because resisting impulsive reactions is often harder than expressing them. It reflects maturity and wisdom, allowing a believer to act with fairness instead of emotion. Such self-command protects dignity, preserves honor, and leads to decisions guided by principle rather than impulse, making it a lasting and respected form of strength. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam provided practical guidance for dealing with anger through everyday actions. He taught that anger should be addressed immediately before it grows and takes control. His advice focused on calming the heart through intentional behavior rather than reacting emotionally. He encouraged steps that interrupt anger, such as pausing, lowering the voice, and redirecting focus toward self-awareness. By teaching restraint and reflection, he showed that anger is not removed by force, but by conscious choice. His guidance remains a timeless model for emotional balance, helping believers respond with wisdom instead of regret. Seeking refuge in Allah from shaitan is a spiritual shield during moments of rising anger. Islam teaches that shaitan thrives on emotional chaos, whispering thoughts that fuel resentment and aggression. Turning to Allah interrupts this influence and reminds the believer that emotions are a test, not a command. This act of remembrance restores spiritual awareness and places the heart back under divine protection. It shifts focus from the source of irritation to the presence of Allah, bringing calm and clarity. By consciously seeking refuge, a believer weakens negative impulses and strengthens reliance on Allah during emotional trials. Silence is a powerful form of control when emotions surge. Speaking in anger often leads to words that cannot be taken back, causing harm that lingers far longer than the moment itself. Islam values restraint of the tongue, recognizing that unchecked speech can turn a small issue into lasting damage. By choosing silence, a person creates space for emotions to settle and reason to return. It allows time to reflect before responding and protects relationships from unnecessary strain. This deliberate pause preserves dignity, prevents regret, and reflects wisdom, proving that calm restraint speaks louder than heated words. Changing one's physical position during anger helps disrupt the emotional state tied to it. Remaining in the same posture can intensify feelings, while movement creates a mental and emotional shift. Standing, sitting, or walking away breaks the connection between agitation and reaction. This simple action gives the mind a chance to reset and regain control. It distances the person from the immediate trigger and reduces the urge to respond impulsively. By altering the body's state, emotional energy begins to settle, allowing composure to return naturally and guiding the individual toward calmer, more thoughtful behavior. Making wudu is a deeply calming practice that soothes both body and soul during emotional agitation. The act of washing with water refreshes the senses and brings a feeling of cleanliness that promotes inner tranquility. It redirects attention away from distress and toward a state of mindfulness and composure. Wudu also reconnects a believer to worship, reminding the heart of purpose and discipline. This physical and spiritual cleansing slows the rush of emotions and restores balance. Through this simple act, tension eases, thoughts become clearer, and the heart is gently guided back to steadiness and self-control. Turning to prayer during moments of anger centers the heart on Allah and shifts focus from the source of frustration. Salah reminds a believer of accountability, patience, and the temporary nature of worldly challenges. It provides a structured space for reflection, calm, and connection with the divine. The physical movements of prayer, standing, bowing, and prostrating, also help release tension, grounding the body and mind. By speaking to Allah and seeking guidance, the heart finds clarity, humility, and relief from impulsive reactions. Prayer transforms emotional energy into spiritual focus, allowing a believer to respond with wisdom and maintain inner peace. The Prophets alayhi salam serve as timeless examples of patience in the face of provocation and hardship. Despite immense trials, they responded with calmness, wisdom, and unwavering trust in Allah. Their lives show that patience is not passive endurance, but an active choice to act with justice and mercy, even when anger arises. By reflecting on their stories, believers learn to measure their reactions and control impulses. The Prophet's patience prevented unnecessary conflict, preserved dignity, and strengthened their mission. Emulating their behavior helps cultivate resilience, moral courage, and a heart oriented toward divine guidance rather than fleeting emotions. The companions, Razi Allah Ta'ala Anhu, exemplified mercy and restraint in everyday life, demonstrating how to manage anger through character and faith. Even when faced with insults or injustice, they responded with forgiveness, gentleness, and wisdom, prioritizing harmony over personal pride. Their actions show that controlling anger is not just a private struggle, but a public reflection of faith. By practicing patience and compassion, they strengthened community bonds and inspired others to act with integrity. Learning from their examples, believers can transform difficult interactions into opportunities for mercy, setting a standard of noble conduct that aligns with the teachings of Islam. Patience in controlling anger carries immense spiritual reward, as every moment of restraint is noted by Allah. Choosing self-control over reaction earns blessings that extend beyond this life, strengthening faith and purifying the heart. It transforms personal trials into acts of worship and obedience. Believers are reminded that they will be held accountable for their behavior on the day of judgment. Controlling anger protects the soul from sinful actions and preserves dignity before Allah and people. By embracing patience, a believer not only safeguards their spiritual standing, but also cultivates a life of peace, moral integrity, and closeness to Allah. Controlling anger and mastering our emotions is a journey of faith, patience, and self-discipline. By following the guidance of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophets alaihi salam, and the companions Razi Allah Ta'ala anhu, we can transform challenges into opportunities for spiritual growth and inner peace. May Allah grant us calm hearts, wisdom, and patience in every trial. If you pray this with us, comment Ameen below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Interior Deen for more inspiring reminders.